to LeBron in just a second. But first, a couple of big plays from last night. Heat, T-Wolves, Miami's Kendrick Nunn ripping it away from Jordan McLaughlin to get the easy dunk on the other end.
Come on, you can't get ripped at the end of the game. They're up by 2. Possession of the ball. Basics, keep the man, keep your body between the defender and the basketball. He strips him to tie the game.
Left to tie the game. That's unbelievable. I didn't realize the time score situation.
Give me that. That's what I'm here for, you, Nick.
All right. Hornets and
ain't
Bulls.
got nothing to do with my life.
Just watching Summer League.
Give me some of
Your
that.
wife's gotta love it. Go
Charlotte's Miles Bridges shaking off the D before smoothly getting to the hoop.
Coach Izzo, Michigan State. We got his wife coming to visit the show today. She's in New York City spending some of your money, Izzo, and nothing you can do about it. She also told me she teaches the kids this on the side.
Oh, she's the one that talked.
Hey, little Knicks Lakers right here. New York's R.J. Barrett spinning, slamming down the two-handed dunk.
Not many highlights for RJ. Struggling in the Summer League. Defense in the NBA just a little bit tougher down there in the ACC at Duke.
Yeah, but listen, last year, the rookie that most notably just had a terrible Summer League was Trae Young. He ended up almost winning Rookie of the Year. Summer League's not always indicative of the season they're going to have.
Oh, no. The thing about Trae, though, Trae can play some offensive basketball. All right? This guy's going to still struggle in the NBA. Don't be trying to...
I'm just...
All right, moving on to a guy who does not struggle in the NBA. His name is LeBron James, plays for the Lakers. Last week, it was reported that LeBron would be the team's de facto point guard next season. From there, a plethora of potential Laker lineups for this team were thrown around. This was all before we heard from the head coach. Yesterday, at Summer League play, Frank Vogel was asked about his team's lineup. Here's what he had to say.
There's no decisions made on our starting lineup. No imminent plan to start LeBron at the point guard spot. A lot of different lineups and combinations have been discussed, but it's really way too early for any of that. He'll be a primary ball handler in our system the same way he has been his entire career, but we're certainly not going to ask him to do anything that he hasn't done his entire career. So, it's going to be a situation of just putting all our guys in the best position to have success on the basketball court, and looking forward for it all to take place at the right time.
All right, Nick, everything you just heard, all that being said, you still think that LeBron should be the Lakers starting point guard next season?
Yes, and that's their easy decision. That's not the complicated one. LeBron should be and will be their starting point guard because they don't have, in 2019, a starting caliber point guard on the roster. Rondo's not that anymore. Quinn Cook's never been that. Caruso was a nice story, a guy that you didn't know was going to make the team and ended up playing some decent minutes for him last year. But LeBron's their best option. Go ahead.
Yeah, and maybe we should just get out of saying starting point guard. And like the coach said, the primary ball handler. Because if you look at Steph Curry, we know D'Angelo Russell, he's going to be the point guard. Steph Curry's going to play off the ball.
What's the difference between the primary ball handler and the
running off of screens. LeBron, the number one skill he has outside of his body being incredible is his ability to be able to see the basketball, his basketball IQ, and, man, LeBron has even gone back in the past and watched NBA video games to watch where guys like to shoot. He looks at guys' stats. Where do they like the ball? What's their dominant hand? When they like to drive, when they're coming off the pick and roll. Those things, LeBron, you can take advantage of if he's on the ball in the primary ball handler in the offense. If he's not, then you don't get that advantage. If you don't, especially if you don't have another competent high-level guard.
And so, but here's the complicating factor. It's not who's going to start at the 1 for the Lakers, because that'll be LeBron. It's the 5 position and the trickle down from there. Because I threw out a bunch of lineups that involved Anthony Davis starting at the 5, and I got 2 separate text messages from 2 separate people saying Anthony Davis is not going to start the season at the 5. Maybe in the playoffs, maybe at the end of games, but stop saying he's going to be the starting center, even though you think he should be the starting center. Not going to happen.
Were both those texts from him?
No. It's
no. I told him on the air, but
you told me on the air that you didn't want it. That you said he's never wanted it.
Anthony Davis has been on the record and been consistent. I do not want to play center.
Doesn't want to play center, and my argument was, okay, well, what you want and what's best for the team are 2 separate things. Turns out what Anthony Davis wants, at least what I'm being told, is going to be at least how they start the season. So, if LeBron's your starting point guard, You're going to have a center, whether that's JaVale or Boogie's. One of them's going to start for who cares who, just a center. Then Anthony Davis. You also know Danny Green's starting. That leaves you one position. Now, people are going to say, well, obviously Kuzma. Well, is it obviously Kuzma? If it is Kuzma, who's guarding the opposing team's point guard? And is there enough shooting out there? Because Danny Green's a knockdown shooter, but Kuzma last year was a bad three-point shooter. He would have to get back to rookie year three-point shooting, Kyle Kuzma. And even then, is that enough shooting? Does Kentavious Caldwell-Pope find his way into the starting lineup? Would it be Avery
There's no way he's going to start.
Would it be Avery Bradley? Is there any chance Kuzma's coming off the bench to run that unit? If not, then you have a question about, are you going to ask Danny Green, your best wing defender, the guy who should be guarding the other team's best wing, to start the games guarding the other team's point guard? If you have LeBron, Anthony Davis, and a center all in your starting lineup, and LeBron's the point guard, you're going to have a big lineup, and some of that shooting the Lakers acquired in this offseason is going to have trouble getting on the court, see?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, as far as the center position, I didn't think it was as complicated as people were trying to make it out. Boogie Cousins, JaVale McGee, when they go to training camp, whoever plays the best, Boogie says his quad is completely healed. I believe he's a lot better player than what we saw in the playoffs. You made a point. Say he didn't come back in the playoffs. Would you be more excited about Boogie Cousins being the center for the Lakers if you didn't see him where he couldn't jump over a pizza box after forcing himself back? Because you got to give him credit for that. You can't on one hand say, you know, I want athletes to be able to try to push themselves, which Boogie Cousins did, because originally they thought he was done for the season. And then he comes back, pushed himself, does all the things
we hold it against him.
And he looks bad, and then we hold it against him. So I believe Boogie Cousins should be the starting center. Now, as far as three-point shooting, I believe Boogie Cousins will shoot above 27% he did last year. I believe Anthony Davis will shoot better than he did last year, and LeBron. So you just have to get some of that three-point production to be able to spread the court to keep teams honest by your bigs. You don't have to always have small guys on the court that are stretching the court. We saw that with Shannon Fry.
Channing Frye,
when he was there in Cleveland. A great example of pick and pop. A big guy who can stretch the court just like smaller guys.
Nick, be honest. You trust that guy right there to make all these decisions, the decisions that no one seems to be able to find a good starting five for this team. That guy is going to make it?
Frank Vogel, this is where his job is very difficult. And this is where, had they gotten Kawhi, not only would they have three of the top 7 players in the league, but the coaching job would have been way easier. You have 3 superstars that are going, at least 2 of them are going to be on the court at all times. And then you have minimum level players and buyout guys that fill out the rotation. Now you've got a roster where you probably have 8 guys who think they should be starting. You have, of Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Avery Bradley, 3 guys who all have been starters in their career. Kuzma, who's making the least money but is the best player. KCP, who's making the most money but arguably is the worst player.
Right.
Bradley, who's the best defender when healthy, and this team needs that skill set out there. So you have one spot for those 3 players, and there is a little bit of a mix and match here. And that is what the beginning of the season is going to be about to a degree. Figuring out which lineups play well together. And that's not even to mention Rajon Rondo, who's a big personality and a guy that averaged 8 assists per game last year when he did play, when he was healthy, just all of a sudden being eliminated from the starting lineup, which I, by the way, think he should be eliminated from the starting lineup, but I'm sure Rondo doesn't feel that way.
Yes, Frank Vogel, even if Kawhi signs with the Lakers, we still got question marks about him today. I don't have as many question marks about other people. He's got a 3-year guarantee, so as far as pressure, I got 2 of the top 6 players. That don't seem like a whole bunch of pressure to me. They got a better bench than we thought they were going to be able to do because they waited on the Kawhi sweepstakes. So regardless, if they had Kawhi there, people would still question Frank Vogel. To me, it's a built-in excuse. Let's blame it on the coach. LeBron, everywhere he's been, it's been questions about the coach. He's never had a great coach. Ty Lue, people didn't have no hell of a confidence in Ty Lue. They got confidence after LeBron and Kyrie and that team put together a special run. Frank Vogel, he's going to be on the hot seat all year. Not just because Jason Kidd's there, not because Lionel Hollins is there. No, but because it's an easy excuse if guys don't play well. If they don't shoot the ball well, we're going to blame it on the coach. It's an easy, think the players in the NBA, they control things a lot more than the coach does. So we want to blame someone? Oh, let's blame the coach compared to looking at them guys out there in the uniform and realize that, you know something? They control their own fate.
All right, let's take a break. Coming up, are the Heat gearing up to trade for Russell Westbrook? We'll discuss that next on First Things First.
He's going to fit in good if he goes there with the wardrobe there in the South.